Okay, so yesterday we were looking at triangle mid-segment. Now, question number 29 and 30, we're going to be looking, instead of a triangle, we're going to be dealing with a trapezoid. Now, the trapezoid, interesting is that there's still a segment in the middle. We can call it mid-segment as well. Some people do call it mid-segment of a trapezoid, and then some other people call it median. Same thing, right? It's the segment in the middle of a trapezoid. So again, if you guys sometimes might see mid-segment of a trapezoid, or you guys see the title median of a trapezoid, it is the exact same thing. Okay, so I remembered on the triangle, I said the mid-segment times 2 was equal to the one side that is parallel to it. Now let's focus on the trapezoid. What does a trapezoid look like? There are two sides that are parallel. One of them is bigger than the other, and then there's other segments here. Now, these other segments, if they were not, the two segments that are not parallel, let's just say I was to find the point in the middle. Let's just say I was to find the mid segment of that one, and I was to connect them. That is what we call the mid segment of a trapezoid. Again, some people might call it median. Now, interesting part of the mid segment. Let me highlight the mid segment. This case, it is parallel. The mid segment is parallel to two sides. But the mid segment is going to be bigger than the small side, but it's going to be smaller than the big side. It's like right in the middle. What we're going to be doing is we're going to get the mid segment times 2. So we're going to get the mid segment times 2, and it's going to be equal to the two other sides combined. All right, Mr. Leonzo, what do you mean with that? Let me show you an example. So let me identify the mid segment here. The mid segment is this side, this thing right here. So I'm gonna go 4x minus 17. 4x minus 17. All of this multiplied by 2. So the mid segment times 2 equals, I know the other sides, one side is 23, the other side is 31. So let me just go 23 plus 31. So the mid segment times 2 equals the other two combined. Notice how the other two, I combined them. I added them. All right, the rest just looks like an algebra question. So let me take a look at this. It's an algebra question. Let me separate my sides to the equal sign. Let me get rid of parentheses. Let me distribute the 2 to the inside. I know 2 times 4x, that's going to be 8x. Then there's a minus sign. 2 times 17, that's 34. And all of this is equal to, I can write 23 plus 31 again, or I could just call this 54. As you wish. We can write 23 plus 31, or we can just call it 54. It's a little bit easier if I combine them. Okay, good. Now, I still want to combine like terms. I see that I have letters only on the left side, right? 8x is only on the left side. I see no letters on the right side. So let me move everything that doesn't have a letter. Let me move it to the right. So this minus 34, let me move it over as a plus 34. So I have that 8x is equal to 54 plus 34 happens to be 88. I see an 8 in front of the x. Let me divide both sides by 8. X is equal to 11. The instructions here were solve for x. So x equals 11. Good. Now notice how x was in the mid segment or median, however you want to call it. Right? It's in the segment in the middle. But sometimes x might not be in the middle. Let's take a look at number 30. Notice how x is in the bigger side. The way I'm going to solve for x, let me identify the mid segment or median, however you want to call it. That segment in the middle, and I'm going to go 22, all of it times 2. right? The mid-segment times 2 equals the other two segments combined. And the other two, I mean 18 plus 5x minus 19. So let me write that down. 18 plus 5x minus 19. I'm gonna combine it all. Okay, now it just looks like a simple algebra question. So let's take a look. 2 times 22 is 44. Now here I can probably combine some like terms. When it comes to letters, I just have a positive 5x. When it comes to numbers 18 minus 19, it's a negative 1. Okay, so still want to combine like terms. I see I have letters on the right side. So anything that doesn't have a letter, let me move it to the left. So this minus 1, let me move it over to plus 1. So I have that 45 is equal to 5x. I see a 5 in front of x, so let me divide both sides by 5. So I get the 9 is equal to x. Good. That wasn't bad. Let me zoom out so you guys can see what we did.